The reason we have a National Blood Donor Month is it's a time to celebrate and raise awareness for the people who do donate blood. You know, that blood is used for everything from life-saving surgeries to emergency transfusions. And it's a time that we want to raise awareness to make sure we have that on the shelves for our hospital partners.
National Blood Donor Month. It was proclaimed in 1970 from Richard Nixon, and it was proclaimed National Blood Donor Month because January is typically a harder month for blood donation across the United States. People are traveling, they're coming off the holidays. It's not necessarily something that you would think of. You know, people are just busy doing other things. So he proclaimed it National Blood Donor Month as a way to encourage people in January to get out to donate blood to support hospitals.
So there's not just one reason somebody would need blood, but there's a million reasons somebody would need blood, and that can be different to the person receiving it or the person giving it. You know, blood is needed on average every 2 seconds here in our country. Everything from cancer patients to emergency surgeries to transfusions to accident victims. It's good to have that blood on the shelf when it's needed most because you never know when it's going to be needed and by who. You know, you could be the reason that somebody gets to go home to their family that night.
So I think, and I'm guilty of this too before I started working here, you know, you donate blood, you get off the bus, you're like, I did a good thing. But beyond that, I think it's kind of not really in everybody's mind where that blood goes after you donate it. It could go to a cancer patient. It could go to a baby in the hospital who was just born. It could go to somebody who's come in with a trauma or a car accident or needs, you know, blood therapeutically. There's lots of different uses beyond, you know, I think a lot of the time we think of like a car accident going into, you know, the hospital, but a huge portion of our blood, the most recent statistic is about 25% of blood that's donated goes to cancer patients. And one out of every 83 infants needs a blood transfusion at birth. So there's more that beyond, you know, the traumas that come into the hospital, more facets that blood is being used for.
You know, every disaster is different, so there's not one specific amount of blood that's per disaster. What I can tell you is we do have constant disasters. Every day we're responding to things like home fires, or we have people who get into car accidents, or who need an emergency transfusion, or who are diagnosed with cancer. And that blood helps them helps them make it through their procedure. Our blood goes all over the country. In this state, where we are the nation's largest blood supplier. So people count on our blood, especially the hospital partners, to make sure they have that on the shelves when they need it most. I'll start off by saying we always count on our type O negative donors. You know, those are the universal donors. Anybody can receive their blood, so it's critically important that that blood be on the shelf. But really, it's all types of blood. We really don't discriminate. If you can donate and you're healthy and you're able to, and you can make some time, you really could help us save lives with your donation, regardless of what blood type you have. So they can download the Red Cross Blood Donor app, go to redcrossblood.org, and they can locate a drive near them. You know, we have drives all over our region, which is Alabama and Mississippi. We have drives all over the place. And so there's more than likely one near you. Now, when you find a drive, some recommendations we have: make sure you're really well hydrated, drink a Gatorade, drink some water, eat something high protein. You don't want to pass out during your donation. One of the things I like to recommend is tuna. It's a great source of protein and it'll help you feel good throughout your blood drive. So there's a couple parts to answer your question here. As far as why there's a drop off, you know, everything from the winter weather that we've seen in the southern part of our state to people getting the flu, people having allergies, people getting sick. Unfortunately, around this time of year, it reduces the number of people that are able to go to our drives. And then when we have winter weather events like we do in South Alabama and South Mississippi, it forces drive cancellations, which puts a pinch on the supply that's available to our hospital partners. Now, as far as what are some of the benefits, of course, you can help save lives with your blood donation. It's not just a matter of going in, oh, I feel good, I did my part. No, you literally could be the reason that a child or a parent or a grandparent gets to go home. In fact, if you donate through the Red Cross Blood Donor app, you can actually track to see where your donation goes, to see who you've helped. I recently donated blood and was able to track it to a children's hospital. Uh, that fills me with joy. I love it when my blood is able to be used to help people, especially with children who least deserve to be fighting things like cancers or accidents. You know, they don't deserve that, and that blood is on the shelf to help them make it through.
But we really need people to just come through the door. We are the sole provider for Huntsville Hospital System. So if you donate here, most likely that's where it's going to end up, is in our community. You know, if somebody gets in an accident here, ends up at Huntsville Hospital, the blood is coming from Life South. So we just really want to encourage the community, come out, donate, and make sure that our hospitals have what they need.